Alright, today's topic feels like a real turning point for Genshin Impact. No, it's not another region leak or drip marketing teaser. We're talking real character buffs and model enhancements that might finally be coming to the game. And yeah, I get it, this leak didn't come from a top-tier source. But hear me out. The details actually make a lot of sense, especially if you've been watching how Hoyoverse is handling older units in Honkai Star Rail. At this point, it's almost ironic. Genshin might be the older sibling, but it's clearly taking notes from Star Rail's more polished systems. And honestly, that's probably a really good thing. So, who's on the buff list? According to the leak, it's Albedo, Arataki Ito, Kamisato Ayaka, and maybe most surprisingly, the Traveler. These aren't just any characters, they're OG 5 stars and central story figures. But lately, they've started to fall behind, both visually and mechanically. This leak suggests they're finally getting some love. Not just tweaks, but possibly model upgrades and combat buffs. Let's break it down. Model-wise, we're not talking full redesigns. Ayaka's not going to show up in a Fontaine opera gown. Think better mesh quality, improved hair physics, more expressive facial rigs. Right now, characters like Ito feel stiff and outdated. Ayaka's animations scream, made in 2020, and not in a good way. Meanwhile, Fontaine characters like Navia and Chlorinde are smooth, polished, and dynamic. If Genshin's catching up to that standard, we're in for a treat. Let's talk about combat buffs. Albedo has always been awkward. His elemental skill places a fragile platform that disappears in boss fights. Worse, his skill scales with defense while his burst scales with attack. Clunky and inefficient, a good buff would unify his scaling around defense and maybe make his platform more durable. Arataki Ito, he's a monster in Monogeo, but outside that, not so much. His reliance on specific supports like Goro and the lack of geo reactions really limit his potential. A buff could make him less rotation dependent, or maybe even let him pierce shields with his burst. Now Ayaka, still a strong unit in freeze comps, but she's showing her age. 80 energy burst cost is rough without Shinhei or a solid battery. Add her stamina-heavy playstyle and she feels clunky. A passive to refund stamina or improve energy regen could go a long way. And finally, the Traveler. Let's be honest, most players drop them the moment they pull someone else. But if this leak is right, the Traveler might be getting more than a buff. We could be looking at a hybrid elemental form, or a new Paragon state tied to the story of Natlan or even the upcoming Nodcry arc. Right now, each element is mid-tier at best. Compare that to Star Rail's Trailblazer, who has multiple viable paths, scaling, and animations tied to the story. If Genshin adopts a similar system, the Traveler could finally become a real main character, not just a lore placeholder with outdated numbers. And the timing makes sense. We're heading into version 6.0 soon. New region, new mechanics, new systems. Buffing older characters during this transition is a smart, soft reboot. It makes rerun banners way more appealing without introducing power creep. Leaks like this tend to surface 2 to 3 patches before launch, so keep an eye on version 6.0 or early 6.x, especially as Nodcry rolls in. So what do you think? Would you like to see the Traveler become top tier? Or are you more excited for Ayaka to get that sweet stamina refund passive? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I read them all, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss future updates. We've got a lot to talk about once 6.0 hits. Until next time, take care, travelers.